Steam is basically just coming out and say it. It's just like digital games. You do not own them. Like you're not guaranteed to have these games, and that's the thing that happens a lot, especially with these mobile games, as we've discussed. The The Simpsons Tapped Out, and this Mirrorverse one. It's like you're not guaranteed any of this, even though you're paying money for it. It's basically you're paying for the license. You're paying for the privilege to play this game. You don't own it.
It's part of this new law, right? California passed this law that's forcing digital stores to admit it. They have to now. They have to, at least in California. So Steam's like jumping ahead of it and just doing it everywhere, right?
Pretty much. And it's something it's been a thing forever, anyways. Ever since the early days of Steam. And pretty much like an unspoken rule of most media, anyways, is like, you buy a game, you buy a DVD or a movie. You don't like own it necessarily. You own the license to view it as yourself, as an individual. That's why, if you're like an independent movie theater and you want to, host like a watch party of certain movies, you have to pay the studio that owns that movie, the rights holder, in order to, screen it for people. Yeah.
Well, and I was thinking about, as I was reading this, because I was reading it before we went live. I was reading it, and a lot of people, like you were saying, AC, are like outraged that they don't own the game, and that they can't.
Surprise!
Surprise! You don't own the game. Like I bought NHL 25 digitally. I don't own that game. I mean, and why would I want to? Because eventually, it's going to be obsolete.
Next year, don't they put out a new one every year?
They put out a new one every year. The only reason I wanted it this year was because it had the Utah Hockey Club.
Everybody say it with me. Sports games should be subscription based.
I agree. I totally
what
agree.
Is this Madden 25, 24, 25, 26? It's so ridiculous, man. It's like, we'll just send you the same game every year.
It's just changing the
get
team.
The updates as they come out. A new team, just add it to the roster. Drop the year out of it.
New players, add the new players, drop the old players. I completely agree.
If any games should be on a subscription service, it's the sports franchise games. Absolutely.
But yeah, like even the games that I own digitally, if I play them to completion, I got my money's worth. And so if they take that game away from me, I can't really be that mad because I got my money's worth.
What if you want to play it again?
Well, if I want to play it again and it's not available, then they need to give me a good reason. Like Web of Shadows, like if I paid for that game digitally, I'd play that game over and over and over and over again. But
it should just be cheaper digitally, since they don't have to put it in a box and ship it anywhere. That's what it should be.
Right. I'm paying the same price.
I think it's very dependent on like what the game is. Like if it's like a live service game and it goes away, and it's like I can understand, because it costs money to like run servers to like run the game.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to expect these companies to run a server forever on every single game.
And it's like, if the game is like not generating money, then like the server is just like, kind of bleeding the
right. Like for example, the perfect example, Mike, you and I used to play Conan all the time.
Oh yeah.
Right. And if the players die out, I mean, I don't know about you, but I can't remember how much money I spent on the game itself and the expansions. But if they don't get the servers anymore and the game isn't successful and they shut down the game, well, I can't complain about that. I should have been playing the game more.
I do. Well, I do think there is an argument to be said that like, if you're still, you paid this money, and in some cases, some people paid like a lot of money. I think like they should still be like entitled to something, like, give them a free subscription to the next game that the studio is making, or
That'd
just
be
like,
nice.
or just like make
That would be-
or just like make a state a version that like a stated version of the game that's like not necessarily online all the time, but you can still go in there and play it. Like,
Yeah,
if
that doesn't work for every game, but like if there's a single player component and you buy the game, yeah, you should totally be able to play that single player component at least for as long as
Right.
you've got the game.
Right.
yeah. I forgot where I was going with this, but yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I know like from the video game industry standpoint is, a lot of it comes from trying to pretty much squash the reselling pre-owned game.
Oh, okay.
In-
Yeah, they're
industry.
trying to kill off GameStop, sort of thing.
Effectively,
yeah.
yeah. They want to be making money on each transaction, not having people trading their games after they made their money.
I mean, that's why the big publishers and the big three have leaned so much into digital games, because like,
Yeah.
one, we don't have to like make and manufacture, physical media anymore.
Yeah.
And then two, our customers can't go and like sell the games to other people because, we want to be making the money.
I don't want my customers making money off of my stuff. Yeah.
Oh, Nimrod's right. I don't like when games need internet for a single player game.
That's total BS. I hate
Yeah.
that. You should not need an internet connection to play a single game ever. Ever.
Yeah.
If it's downloaded to my machine, leave me alone.
Right. Or if like I've played games where you have a disc and it's a single player game and it's like, well,
Yeah.
you need the internet to play this. And it's like,
That's
no,
bogus, man. That's
Go-
where it gets too far for sure.
go screw yourself.
Yeah.
I don't need none of this garbage.
Yeah.
Do you remember the good old days of like the Blizzard games that required you to like when you install it, put in like the code that's on your CD
Yes.
case?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That was a lot of games back then.
Oh yeah, but me and my friends, like we shared games a bunch, and we passed along little applications that got around that, so that we could all have like the same copy of StarCraft and play it.
Now,
CD cracks.
I'm not saying that two people in this group right now ever did this, because it was completely illegal, but I have heard of a couple of people that have downloaded games and those CD keys to play games.
Oh?
Yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I have no idea who I'm talking about either. I just,
I don't know. I think maybe all three of us did that. Maybe.
Yeah. Who hasn't
I
sailed the
definitely-
high seas from time to time, eh? Eh?
yeah.
We're just sailors. We're explorers.
Yeah.
Dude, high school kid with an internet connection. And
I
like
love
no money
rum,
and
so-
no money to buy games.
Yeah.
Right.
You're joking. Of course I did.
Yeah.